Let's see. Just going to start streaming and see if this will work. It might work, it might not. I don't know if I have to automate it. Oh no, it is working. I can see it's streaming automatically on Twitter, so that's working. I don't know how on earth to get like view counts, so I should have a look on Restreamer and see what it says. Yeah, 0 views throughout. But at least it's now working, and I can see that it's streaming to Twitch, it's streaming to YouTube, it's streaming to Periscope/Twitter. That's how it works. Yeah, I can see it's working on Twitch. So I guess I'll just get on. Yeah, okay, I think the stream's working. We'll just have to leave it at that. Feels like I'm talking to nobody here. I'm going to be working on Automaily today. I've got maybe like an hour or so while my 2-year-old has a nap and the wife's out at work. So yeah, just going to get on with Automaily a bit. So I'll open the code up here. I'm having issues with Docker on my local machine. Let's just bring terminal into view. With Docker on my local machine locking up, so I'll try and get it to turn off all the images and starting up again, and it ain't working. So I end up having to force restart Docker. I don't know why. Real pain. So like there you go, I've restarted Docker. So we'll have to see if it'll well, it will rework, but it's just a real pain. And then I've got a project here that was for doing some email automation, and then I've got SnapShooter open here, which we don't need anymore, so we might as well open Automaily. I'm trying to think of a task I can do. One of the issues I've got with screen sharing this is during local development is I've copied down the production database, and I've got a whole bunch of emails of customers of SnapShooter. SnapShooter is the SaaS product I'm testing Automaily on, and I don't really want to display those emails over stream. So either I need to code something to quickly code something to obfuscate those emails, or I need to just use a complete testing environment. So maybe we might work on that. Yeah, it'd be good to know if anyone was watching it. One viewer. You could always leave a comment. Right. Okay. So we might as well build. The script to run locally to obfuscate email. So we'll see if Docker should work now. Oh, sorry, it's hidden behind my face. If anyone's interested, it's just I just run 2 commands, which is docker stop and then the docker compose up. But I have just a convenient command, so I can just go into any of the projects and just start it. So that's that. And I guess from here, I can't have it like that. I have it here. I shall make a new command called make command, and then it should just be randomize users personal data. So we shall have a look at that command now. Probably not in the right namespace, but we'll just write it. So it's Automaily, and then we'll just have randomize users, and then we'll call it loop through all existing users, all existing Stripe customers. That's more accurate, and hide emails. Okay, it's going to be super dirty, but I need it for this stream. So in this case I have a separate entity for Stripe customers. We should just loop through all, we'll each them. So we'll have a function which takes in this Stripe customer, which is called customer, and then in here we will say customer email equals, so I guess in this case we're going to need faker, so let's make faker equals factory crate. Don't really care about the location. We'll pass faker in, and then we'll generate a fake email, so fake dash email. Then what else on the Stripe customer? So where does the name get stored? I can't even remember. Get name is stored in metadata. So that is going to be a bit more of a pain. So the get metadata just JSON decodes that. So what we'll do is we'll pull down the metadata, replace it and put it down. So metadata equals customer get metadata, so that should return a collection. Am I correct? A collection? Yeah. And then the name, so we'll just let's close all these other things. And then we'll just we'll say metadata put name, and then we'll do faker name. And then we'll save the customer's metadata. Is there a set method on there? I can't even remember how I set it. Metadata. No, I probably did it just by injecting JSON encoded. So, so we're not muttering too much. We'll just do. We'll just do metadata equals JSON encode metadata. I probably could have used Laravel here, but whatever. I'm always a bit skeptical because I tend to use Amazon RDS Aurora for deployments, and then anything JSON at the moment isn't really supported. So, as I'm only storing values that I don't often change, I'll stick with that. And then, yeah, that should hopefully be enough. So we change the metadata, let's just put that one there as well. We'll add the property, because I should have had it anyway, so it's string or null. Email is string/null, because sometimes Stripe customers don't have emails, which doesn't really work for us, but also the time zone is also null. Oh, I've been keeping on top of this, have I? Just having a quick look on Twitter, see if anyone's had a couple of retweets, that's it. But no actual viewers on Twitch, YouTube, and then we've got some on Twitter, but I don't know if that's just because it's sort of just from the embedding. So it's my annoying cat. Right, okay, so let's see if we can run this command. No, just we'll just have an output just for the sake of it. Customer email change. So we'll go back to iTerminal. Email changed. Cool. Okay, while that's running, I shall check whether it has actually worked before showing it on the screen. Oh, okay. So while that has worked, some other aspects haven't worked. Oh, okay. So I need to change that. On Automaily, every time we send an email out or generate an email, we actually store at the time what that email address was and the name. In case the customer was to change name or email, we still have sort of a record of what it was previously. So a lot of the emails are now saying the customer's got a different email to the actual email. So it's going to require a little bit more engineering. So that's all fine. We've got the name, but we'll just make these. We'll just store these for later, and then we will go through automatic. Automated emails, no. So it's automatic emails where I think it's that object. Yeah, where do we store the customer ID somewhere, please? Let me check in SQL, which I can't show because obviously that's going to have the emails in. Didn't think of this didn't think about live streaming, did I? So got the read store, automatic emails. I'm just opening them up and I can see that there is no customer ID. That's not very good. I thought that would be there. Oh no, I'm looking in the wrong place. It's emails. Oh yeah, no, so we do have it. Do we have it? Yeah, customer ID. So what I'm actually looking for is email. Automatic emails are the templates you use. So we'll import that. Where customer ID. I probably could get it through the customer actually. Customer emails. No, I didn't have it set up, so I'll just do it this way, I don't mind. So we'll just call it, it's going to be customer customer ID. I just need to check whether it's that one or a Stripe ID. So it's actually a Stripe ID, not a user ID. So it will be the Stripe. I've kept them separate. I could have used the Stripe ID as the unique integer, but I decided in this case just to stick with MySQL's auto-incrementing ID. I can't quite remember my full reasoning. Maybe I thought there might be a conflict, or I was thinking maybe we might support different providers in the future. So a customer on one provider is different to a customer on another provider. So and the other provider wouldn't have a Stripe ID. So yeah. So we'll get those. Or we won't. We'll just do update because we don't need to worry about it. And then email. Slightly different actually in this case. The email has a from and a to. So it's to email and then to name. And I don't need to have an eloquent model for that. I can just do it happen like that. So that should work. Let's see. It's going to take a while to run through. Hopefully it'll sync all the emails up together as well. Correct, yeah. Okay, so it's worked. So now I can show you Automaily because this is no longer the real email. The subscription ID is the subscription. The name is wrong. So I just need to. I can't show you the actual email because at the time of rendering the email, we embed the name. And it's no longer dynamic, so I can't actually show you an email that's been sent. But everything else here is these aren't real people anymore. Except for that. Welcome to Snapshoot to Ugh. Okay, so the name is still there. I guess I have to work on that as well, but I think it's not too much of an issue at the moment. So cool. And updating on the stream, we have 2 people on the stream. Huzzah. Tell me who you are. That's what I want to know. 3 viewers. I don't know. Anyway. So I've obfuscated the email. So this is Automaily. This is a tool for SaaS builders to basically manage their emails and help eliminate SaaS churn. Let's put you here. Maybe make more sense of my face in this corner. Yeah, so we integrate with your Stripe account, which these days, or in my experience, is very tied into how your business actually works. If you're a SaaS company, it pretty much all pivots around billing. I know everyone's always thinking about doing billing last, but I find it's such a key role to building any product, how you're going to bill it. It always ends up in there, doesn't it? So we help do your onboarding emails. At the moment it's very basic. When you create a Stripe customer, we can then trigger a whole series of events based on that. So you can send an email immediately, you could send an email in 3 days time to any customer who's subscribed to a bigger plan, etc, etc. The other key part we do is for dunning emails. So every time a subscription payment fails, or a charge fails on Stripe more accurately, we can send out a dunning related email. And as I say there, it's pretty accurate that half of churn is just caused by sort of payment issues. So which hopefully most can be resolved. And then the last thing that we're going to build is customer success monitoring. So we're going to integrate into your SaaS more directly, not through Stripe, for an API. So you can send us information like when a user last logged in, what plan they're on. So for example, Snapshooter, which backs up servers, we could send statistics about like when they activate servers, when they turn them off, when snapshots were taken, when they along with like bad events, like when droplets are removed, when they no longer need the service in one area. So that's, I think, going to become the key part of Automaily, is integrating in with user events to work out what sort of emails to be sending people. So for example, on Snapshooter, if you sign up and then within 7 days you haven't actually activated as Droplet or connected a DigitalOcean account, that's a concern. And then if after a month you haven't done so, we're pretty much in a position where we should be deleting your account because you haven't activated as a customer. And the same thing happens for trials. Sometimes people upgrade to a paid trial, haven't provided their card yet, and yet haven't activated anything. So that's another thing to be cautious of. And then a rare scenario, but does happen, is a customer will connect, they will add their card, they will go to a paid plan, but then they will never activate, so they won't ever connect a DigitalOcean account, thus take backups. Oh, sorry. And in that case, it's really important just to make sure we cancel the subscription, because I don't want to be charging people who they would have a very high chance of doing a chargeback if they hadn't activated their account. So, or churning out. So it's just sort of easier to remove them. So let's see. The last area I was working on was the billing area. The downloading of invoices doesn't work currently. The updating of a card, I'm not sure if it works, so I may focus on that now. I'm just trying to think. I've had a few weeks off to look at Snapshooter and deal with some payment related, or some, to be honest, the valuation of it, and where it's going with DigitalOcean. So I haven't been able to focus on Automaily as much. Has been churning away in production, doing all my emails though, so has been working. This number here is accurate to about 3 days ago of what Snapshooter was making, so if anyone's interested. Trying to think what the best area to do now is. There's not many people in the stream, so it doesn't really matter. No one's going to send in a request. So sent emails. Okay. I shall continue working on billing. And I'll probably just stop talking at this point, unless people are unless people are interested. Oh, someone said hello. Alex said hello. Hello, Alex. How you doing? I've just set off my Alexa saying hello to you. Let's have a look. The comments don't come through on my actual over my screen, so it's a bit of a pain. Let's see if I can get this to show up. Chat. Open in browser. On messages. Yeah, you can see them, but I can't. I got the stream open on a second screen, like managing this. What was it, OBS? And I'm not really looking at it. So, but yeah, you having a good Saturday? It's also a bit slow on Restream to show me the messages. There's like a bit of lag there, so let's have a look. View my channel. Oh well. Does it really? Periscope? I have to see. I don't really understand streaming. I have to see why Twitch is coming. Why Periscope's so bad. Without watching it myself. Okay. Cool. Well, I think you're the only person who's actually watching the stream at the moment, so. And I now feel really self-conscious. There you go, Twitch. I don't know why Periscope quality is so bad. I don't know how Restream works in terms of settings. Anyway, as I was just saying to just Alex, it seems I'm just going to work on updating the card. I feel really self-conscious now. Right. I work with Alex, so you can now see how sloppy my personal code is. Or maybe he thinks my work code's bad as well. So, I was doing the billing. So billing. So that's not dynamic for the last card digits. Unfortunately, I don't actually store the last 4 digits of people's cards currently locally, which I should do. I don't really want to ping off to. I don't want to ping off to Stripe every time. I want to get the card details, as it sort of turns out to be a bit slow at times. So, this is the product database, the products table, which contains everything, including partial Stripe keys. That's not great either, is it? So I guess on here I'll add in the last 4 card digits plus the expiry date stuff. Oh god, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here I don't really want to share. Alright. Is it really bad on Periscope? Oh, what? I have to find out. I don't understand, or I haven't fully explored Restream to see if there's any quality stuff there, or whether it's the fact my computer's not optimal. I haven't optimized the settings for streaming. I don't know. I just followed a quick guide online. Okay, so we want to store the last 4 digits, so that's going to be pretty easy. We'll just make a new migration. Add, we'll just call it card summary to the products table, and we'll do table equals products. I only learned about the bloody putting the tables on the end like a couple of months ago, which pissed me off not knowing about that before. So if we look in the migrations, there's tons, and it's not there. Good. That's because I've got performance anxiety here. Artisan. There we go. So it's here. So we want to store the. We want to store the last 4 digits. We'll just call it card. Last 4, which is nullable. And then we also wanted to store the expiry date, which I'll just store as a string. I guess it is a string, isn't it? Expiry. So that'll be card expiry date, which is also nullable. And then we can also drop those two, drop columns, and we'll do both together. Card last 4 and card expiry date. Can I zoom in on the editor? Let's have a look. There is a thing on here. Is it presentation mode? Oh god, I'm going to struggle with this. Is that better? Oh, it better be better. It's really massive. Cool. Okay. So I've added the card details on here. Right, sorry, I was just having a look on Twitch. Right, okay, so I'm pretty confident that's going to work. Now I'm really going to struggle to navigate, especially without the bar there. So we got these, and we can run the migration, which I'm not zooming in on this. There we go. Fucking hell. But we actually need an endpoint for updating the card. There's already one for activating your account on Stripe, but there isn't one. I don't think the tree view is that important. True. I'll just leave it like this and I'll have a play around another time. What was I thinking? So there's already an endpoint for activating the product. God, it's so difficult to see now. Yeah, so I basically just need to do the card process, which I can rip some of this off. So if we have a look through, I swear I've lost half the controllers here. Or maybe there isn't one. Routing. Let's have a look. It's in the products. So there's an app products, update products. So yeah, okay, so we'll just add one here. Just what should we call it? Just update product card controller. That'll do. So we'll add our function, which is invoke. Just takes a request. That'll be that. Just add a comment here. The request will be validated. So validate with just must have a Stripe token, I think. I think that's all we need. If I have a look in the activate product controller, we should see the same scenario. Stripe. In that case, I call it Stripe token, but we'll stick with the same. Wrong way. Okay, and then we can get the product. and then we'll just do a few of these checks just to make sure. I'm not getting used to this. It's probably going to make you all feel sick swinging back and forth, isn't it? So I have a very lazy method here for current product, which basically rips out the routing from the IOC container and determines what the current product is. So, which sort of depends on a bit of middleware, but it all errors out nicely if the product doesn't actually exist. You can see here that there could be a null pointer, but so if they haven't got an assigned billing account, we should just abort for now with a 404. I'll look into that later. Do something better. So we need to update the card. Now we could probably rip off a whole bunch more of this. So we can retrieve the Stripe customer and we can save the token. It might literally just be all this code here. Yep. I'm just going to take all this. That's locked up. Okay. Pretty sure this will work now. Import. So retrieve the customer from Stripe. Set the source to that Stripe token, which will save them a new card, and then we're push, we're done. So we can add in all the exceptions. Pretty sure it's going to be that one. Rate limit, API connection error, Stripe base error. There you go. That's everything. You might be wondering why I haven't used Cashier or something like that. It's just I didn't really deem it necessary for this project. There's no complicated changing around of plans. You can it basically just changes the quantity based on how much MMR you're making, and because I'm already doing lots of stuff with Stripe, I didn't really want to muddy the water with adding Cashier. So I think this is going to work. Well, I hope it's going to work. Just add our message, and then we should probably redirect back to the products page, which should be this one here. So we can return, redirect, we'll send to the root there. What parameters does it need? Pretty sure it's going to need team name, that's all it is. So, oh god, that's pissed me off now. So current product, slug. Yeah, I guess at the end I could add a message on to say it's happened, but it should be good for now. So we need to register this. So just copy this lazily. So we'll just do a post a billing card, and then we'll do update product card controller. Update billing card. So we'll need this root name for later. Chat. Yep, so we'll have that. So I can now go back to the billing form. I can change the root to update the card now. Hopefully this will work. There's the card. This is literally just copy and pasted from Stripe at the moment. Cool. So we could probably now go back to here and refresh if we won't have any errors. Let's try. Who else is going to be annoyed when it gets to April 2024 and you can't just int it 242424? no errors, but I didn't actually catch to see if it worked. So I'm just going to quickly look in Stripe. Which I'll show you in a second. I just want to make sure I'm not opening into production Stripe account here. So Automaily, test beta. So if we go to customers, which one will it be? Good point, right? Maybe this one. I don't know. 1 second. I'll get it from my database. Stripe ID, Stripe account ID, that one. So there we go. I need one card on file. Maybe it didn't work. It's quite possible it didn't work. Let's have a look at that controller again. So update. So we're sending back a lot of potential errors here. But I don't actually display any, so I'm just going to be really lazy here. Just do catch exception. Just going to break all of this and just do dd dump the exception. Now we can give the card form a go again. Boring. That's an idea for a Chrome extension right there. Okay. Maybe it did work, who knows? Maybe it's not updating. Maybe I need more coffee. What's going on here? I'm expecting to see another card in the Stripe account, but I'm not seeing it added, so maybe it did work. Maybe it's not sending at all. We'll open inspect elements and see what's going on. I'm going to update the card. Yep, new card. Okay, apparently it did work. But I'm not seeing it on Stripe, so maybe I just enter in some different Stripe details. Stripe test cards, see what's going on. Test card and token, so we'll try this one instead. So we'll go back and we'll just remove the debugging code that was just not necessary. We'll go back. We'll refresh and we'll go from there. What do you use for design? Bootstrap. I can't design anything for shit, so what I normally do is I go to wrapbootstrap.com. I have a referral link if you really want, and I buy the themes for literally everything I ever do. So this is just a theme from there. If you look at Snapshooter, which is my sort of main business, that is a theme from Wrap Bootstrap. Automaily.com is a Bootstrap paid theme, but I got it from the official Bootstrap themes. I never ever design any of this, I just pay for it. Yeah, so answers your question. And then a load indicator on there for the Stripe thing, yeah, absolutely. That doesn't fall in line with the my lazy avoiding any JavaScript at all costs mentality. So that's a nice thing to have. Maybe one day I could afford to sort of hire you to come in and fix all the JavaScript, Alex. Maybe just change it all to Vue. I know how much you like Vue. So we're gonna. I've totally forgot that card there. Update. It probably does work. I'm just trying to prove to myself it works. View as the bomb. Like, I've got divided opinions here, I think. It's not showing up as an updated card. I do not. Why is that? I don't know. I don't really know why it's not coming up in my Stripe account as new. This is just freaking me out now. So I've got a billing account here. That's totally where I'm looking, and it's not telling me there's a new. Oh, is that the new card? Is that the card I just entered? That'd be embarrassing. Let's try again with the actual default one. Maybe it's because I'm just changing the source and not adding a new card. Yeah. Okay, I'm absolutely stupid here. It's because on my Snapshooter, when someone adds a card to like replace the card, it actually just ends up adding another card in their Stripe account and setting it to the default. But this process just seems to be replacing it, which is absolutely fine, and I'm happy for that. So what I actually do need to do is store this information here. So we're storing the source here with this Stripe token, and I don't know if I need to retrieve it again to get that, or putting that object's not going to contain it. So we'll just very lazily get the customer again. I don't actually like the fact it's CU. I should have probably changed that. Check the actual Stripe response in the network log. Yeah, it was working. I was just being an idiot. I was expecting it to come up as a second card or a third card, which happens in my other product. I must just add it as a card instead of changing the source. So anyway, I want to get the customer's card back. So right. Let's have a look at there. Updating customer's card. Using the token, blah blah blah, post. So get the error. That'll do. Just steal this code here. And expand their default payment. That's exactly what I want to do. So we'll just come back in here and say that. So we're going to retrieve with the customer ID is that. And we want to expand the true. And we can replace these single quotes. We don't need these. Bring it all online, and then we can see here that the customer default card brand. I don't really care about the brand. So customer. What should we call it? Store card. Details. I'll do. It's a summary, maybe. We're not really storing their details, are we? So we want the customer default source. We'll do last four, and then I'm pretty sure it's going to be two different attributes here to get this data for the. I think it's going to be something like expire month. I'll have a look at the documentation. Retrieve a Stripe customer followed by expand. So we'll just have a look at the cards. Payment method cards. the card object. Yeah, expiry month and expiry year. So we'll just lazily concat that together. Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to display that. Stored card summary. So we'll add the method onto the. Whoops. That's not what I want to do. I wanted to do the current product. Store the card details. That makes more sense. So cannot. Come on. It's just there. So we'll add a method on here. And what did I call it first? I went with last 4, and then string expiring. And now I can't remember what I called them. In the migration. So card last 4 and card expiry date. So. This is why I have to have everything commented. It was expiry day, wasn't it? Yeah. Just because I can't spell. And then this save. I've done it again, thinking it's an array when it's not an array. And it should be void. Just going to check a message from my partner. Missed calls apparently from random people. Right, okay, so that should work. I'm just going to add these as properties on this method. So that's string null card last 4, and then I'm just lazy, so do it this way as well. Right. Let's see if running this will automatically, or it should save the new details. So we'll do it again because it doesn't matter. 40. If you have any questions about Automaily or building SaaS products, I'd love to answer them on the stream, make it a bit more interesting. So that's now posted off. Alex is right, we should display some sort of success message, and if I check the database now, where was it? Don't know where these columns are. Last 4. Brilliant. Okay, so now saved. Thank God for that. This took me way longer than it should have done. Just throw a simple JS alert. I think I've actually got. I must have, like, is it toast notifications or something where I just send back a if I send back a flash response in Laravel with a message, it should then just display. I just need to remember how I actually configured it. So in the billing now, we can now display the current products. So we can now do the current product expiry, card expiry, oh no, last 4, and then here we can do current. And if you ask about putting this function in everywhere, being really lazy and dirty, it probably is. So the last 4. Now you make me think about toast. Did I do it? So if I look in the master layout and then in the scripts, is it already in here somewhere? If it has success, it should display one. So we can probably just add that in now. So update card controller. So we should be able to say with success, your card has been updated. That should be changed to a language file at some point, but you know, laziness. So if I refresh now, we should see the Stripe default card here, which we do, and the expiry date, which is not quite worked. What's gone on there? Expiry date. So if we send this form off as well, I click update card. Notation notification. I don't know why. Inspect. It's not really on the top of my list, but scripts. There's the Stripe stuff. Your card has successfully updated. I don't know why it didn't work. Network console. Toast is not a function. I don't know why. Sorry, notify is not a function. I don't think I want to mess around. It's not. Not found it. Now you guys have got me wondering why it's not finding that. I'm so sure it's there. What does it say? Assets, JavaScript. No, it's not there. Why is it not there? I changed a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know why it's not there. It's going to bug me now. I wonder if it exists anywhere. Maybe I'll just have to see if I can download it somewhere. Bootstrap notify. Right. Just give me a minute, I'll just download it. I know I should be using some sort of dependency manager for this, but I don't, so click the link here. Stable release, download, save. Bootstrap notify. Bootstrap notify. Which one do I want? That one, I think. Just looking to see where it wants me to plonk it. Assets, JS. Assets, JS. Okay. So if I now refresh this, we should hopefully just load in. There shouldn't be a network error anymore. And now if we add the card. Yeah, I should use npm, shouldn't I? Hooray! There you go, look at that. And that is the extent of all JavaScript that I ever do. If not, I normally just boom. That's a job for the front end team, I think. Yeah, okay, so we've now got the new card. The current card is now displaying there, so you can now update your card. Now, in terms of emailing to say a card's updated, I don't tend to do it. I was thinking you can do it through Automaily as an automatic configuration for like listening to an event from Stripe saying a card is updated. So look, we've got one here. However, I don't really recommend doing it because a lot of times, maybe like 70, maybe 80% of cards, I'm just plucking that number out of thin air, update automatically now. And when you send someone an email saying that your card has been updated on X platform and it happened automatically, they get sort of a bit confused. So maybe in this case I could send one saying that it's been updated, but I don't think it's necessary, so we'll just leave it at that. So the billing, that pretty much wraps it up. The only thing on the billing needs to be the downloading of invoices, but that's so far down the list of priorities. And before I want to do that, I want to really just tackle the VAT issue. So, and again, that's bottom of the priority list. When do you expect Automaily to be ready, by the way? It's a difficult one to answer because it depends how many hours I can put into it with how it works around family life and work and stuff like that. Work's getting pretty busy at the moment and having to put a bit of time in outside of normal work hours. So I'd hope not too long. It is currently running on Snapshooter, and I've sort of swapped out. I swapped Snapshooter to use Automaily. I would like to think maybe a couple of months' time. So March, maybe the end of April, beginning, start of May would be probably when I want to do it. There's a few features I want to round off before then, which I think are kind of key. There's a lot of things that aren't smooth, which you can imagine based on the video you just watched. A lot of things have been built just to be functional and not particularly smooth, so I need to improve that as well. Another example is, look, the open rate is a little bit higher than 100%, so I need to work out what's going on there as well. What are my plans for the launch? That's difficult. So one plan is to make a live demo account of Automaily running on Automaily. So as people come in, they'll get automatic emails welcoming them, and then there will be a demo account where you can see that. And at that point, I think I should be ready to try and do maybe a product hunt launch or something, just to sort of give it like official start date, even though obviously product hunt's not really a sustainable marketing source. But one of the good things about building on top of Stripe is that Stripe has a marketplace for third-party apps, so maybe in a month's time I should be submitting Automaily to that, and then using that as a channel, and then other marketing will just be trying to use sort of my social media and the small community of SaaS product developers I've got going. It's got like maybe 30 or 40 people in there using that, and then continue from there. That's the loose marketing plan. How similar to Baremetrics? Similar to how Baremetrics has it? I don't understand your question, Alex. In regards to a demo account, yeah. So it'll demo itself. So I have like demo.automaily.com, which will show you literally what you're seeing on the screen right now, but for the live Automaily demo service. So just need to build something to obfuscate emails and stuff. But yeah, exactly like Baremetrics. I think people would like to see that, so I'd like to see that if I was going to sort of take a leap of faith and put all of my emails in the hands of Automaily or into any sort of third party. I'd definitely like to have, yeah, as you say, people. It's always nice seeing that. If I need beta testers, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it is actually on. It is in production right now, as I said, because I've got it for. I got it running for Snapshooter, and it needs to basically be online because I need to get the webhooks reliably and stuff. So, If you want a beta test, you can go to automaily.com and sign up, which gets you an account, and then I just need to activate your account, and then you're all good to connect your Stripe account and go from there. In terms of making sure that's smooth, you can see here that it supports both your production Stripe account and your demo or your testing Stripe account. It's not 100% flawless in terms of setting up, but when it is set up, it does mean you can basically use Automaily on your Stripe test system. It doesn't send emails at that point, they all get sandboxed, but that's also another good way to test it and how I sort of built it. Let's have a look. I see I haven't connected the Stripe test account. I'm glad you think it's a nice touch. I was really worried about getting people on board because I think people probably want to do it slowly, as in they want to test it works properly, test all of their workflows. Yeah, I guess it could integrate with MailTrap, but what I've built is, I've got to swap. How do I swap back to? Oh goodness. What have I done? Okay, so you say about MailTrap. Now, the nice thing is that I have this concept of a sent box as well as like a outbox, so you can see all of your emails that were going to be sent out. So you can see this one was sandboxed. So basically, like MailTrap, it doesn't send the emails; it just stores them in a outbox. So you can see exactly what the markup would have been. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but obviously you don't get the statistics about sending emails and stuff, but yeah. Yeah. Are there any other questions? I like answering questions. It's sort of like asking a question about the marketing. Sort of really does make you have to think, what is the marketing strategy? I've sort of just been skipping it. Can you view the raw headers? You can't. It's not actually sending an email at that point. What happens is each email gets a schedule, right? So you, either it's sending instantly, or for example, like the payment reminders. Sometimes they get delayed basing on business hours and stuff. So you can set it up so you never send an email to someone outside of working hours, or like it's not going to send a payment failed on a Sunday morning. So they all get scheduled, and then there's just a cron script that goes through and checks to see if there's any emails that need to be sent, and then at that point it goes to send the email. Now it has all the data there, the view file, I'm using Shopify Liquid templating for building emails. So at that point it puts all of the data needed for the render and then the template together, and then sends it off to Postmark to send the email. Now, if it's in sandbox mode, or it's staging, or it's turned off, it basically just saves that rendered data on inside itself. And we do that for all the emails anyway. Save what the rendered version would be, and that's what's formed the outbox. It's not actually an email at that stage. So I hope that answers the question about what that outbox is. It's mostly there just to make sure that the templating you did with the event data actually rendered, and rendered as you expected. How I did the templating for emails, that's what you'd like to know. Okay, so you can create your automatic emails. So we'll have a look at the welcome one because it's nice and simple. This could do a bit of update. It's for the actual content of the email, it's Liquid, which is a templating language from Shopify. I guess they needed something good, so they came up with their own. And then on top of that, it's Markdown. So you can see here, hey, customer name, customer.name is a customer is an array, name is the value. Then you can do stuff like this in Liquid. So you can say the event created. The event is the Stripe event that came in. Then this is a bit of a hack to get it to work, but you get the date in seconds. You add in my case, a fortnight, and then you render it as the date format that you'd like. And then using a bit of markdown, like this is markdown for a button, it then renders that. So if we look in the sent box, I'm sure we'll have one for welcome. You can see it's rendered the customer's name here. The expiry date is the date that the trial ends has become a string. I think I'd like to see a markdown view in there. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Markdown view would be good. Yeah, as in a preview. Yeah, that's probably right. And I also should probably have a preview on like a previous event in your system, so you could go through and actually see what that email you're sent to will actually look like. You could chuck in a quick editor in there. Yeah. Let me write this down. You guys have good ideas. So so just a markdown editor. The other thing I thought would be good was to have, possibly in the markdown editor, like a drop down of all the variables that would be available to you. Yeah, well, you guys probably get access to the Automaily at a discount, so you know you can't totally complain. Yeah, so have a drop down with all of the available options for that actual email offering. No, can't complain, no. Yeah. Right, do you guys have any other questions? Otherwise, I'm probably just going to wrap up. I can hear my daughter starting to wake up, so. I've been into the big end-to-end testing. Have you thought about using something like Dance Compress? You raised this is such a good question. In terms of end-to-end testing, it is incredibly valuable. And on something like this, you're right, it's big. It's turning into a sort of a very big chunk of software. And obviously in our workplace, the workplace, you need that because there's multiple people working on it, and like the amount of information that one person can hold in their head about the whole system and like what they touch and know what would happen gets too big, and you end up creating errors where I think because this is small in terms of it still fits within my sort of memory, my sort of scope, I can still visualize and know how the whole system works. I think end-to-end testing is important, but I've tried to actively avoid it when doing products myself. Years ago, like before Snapshooter, I would build systems and I would have unit tests on fucking everything. The whole thing would be event sourced. It would be like how we would build for a sort of professional client. It was a great learning experience, but it just meant everything did take longer. I wasn't saving time, which is like one of the big advantages of end-to-end testing, is actually saving time. So I try and just sort of smash out a prototype quickly, which still is really, until the first customer is basically a prototype, isn't it? And then at that point, I will not end-to-end test everything. I'll just start end-to-end testing or adding testing, I should say, in the key areas or new areas that I add. That would be my solution. And then, you know, with the vision of coming back and doing the whole thing. But then I look at Snapshooter and I haven't needed to do that. So I've sort of saved myself a lot of time, really. It's a delicate topic, I think. Don't tell anyone at work that I'd say just skip tests. Cool. Okay, so yeah, it was great having you guys on the stream. It was nice to sort of just focus on that billing thing. It's been sat there for ages, but I needed to get that form to work and I haven't done it, so great. And I might stream in the evening next week, we'll see. Alright, I'll catch you guys later.